everybody? We're back with our next question here. This one says, I have a super intelligent, highly analytical, fidgety client. Establishing any depth of trance is more than difficult! Exclamation point. Any suggestions for the best technique? I've used different rapid inductions, some metaphor, but I can't establish good working depth. He very much wants to go further, and we have great rapport. This is such a good question. I don't even think about depth of trance. I love these because it's like it's just cool. Yeah. So first thing, a working depth is a fascinating idea. I like that. The real working depth is going to be whatever shows up organically. This is what I teach folks to do, right? I teach them to catch trance as it shows up organically, because I'm fully trusting that person's unconscious mind has the problem and knows more about it than I do, and it also has the solution. So we're just kind of syncing these things up. So assuming that they have to be in a certain state is a guess, and guessing I think is a bit counterproductive. I would rather work with what's real and utilize that, right? We want to leverage reality as much as we can to create breakthroughs quickly. This is such a good question. So I would say, and if we're catching it, then there's not really resistance, all right? Because it just kind of showed up, which is pretty cool. It makes things a lot faster. I do think depth of trance, when you're beginning, I think there is some value in exploring it. I don't think it's necessary, but I think it can teach you really cool like things to look out for in terms of observing trance phenomena. I think there's some value in that for sure. Like notice catalepsy, hey, there's some eye lock, or the eyes are getting heavy, or who knows, right? It doesn't, all the different types of things that show up. So I think there's some value there, but I would never assume that the depth of trance is going to solve the problem for the individual, right? That's not really what happens. It's more about, I like to teach folks to just sort of explore the nature of the problem, and as we do that, the mind starts giving you clues. It's pretty cool. So like a stop smoking session might turn into a resentment towards an ex-husband, or I miss an ex-boyfriend, or I lack confidence in other areas in my life. I don't know how to take a break. It could be any number of things, right? I don't feel like I deserve this as an individual. So once we start to solve that problem, that's why when you see folks, the testimonials for me, it's like they talk about their whole life changing. It's because we got underneath the surface. We're not just solving the symptom, right? We're getting what's actually causing this, and it means your results. You can imagine what happens to the longevity there. It's like it's not like they go out and they get triggered and they go back. We didn't solve the actual problem, so the symptom comes back. We fix the thing. So that's what I like to teach folks to do. I hope this is helpful. It's a little bit hard to. It's easier to show than to tell this stuff. It really is. If I can capture it and show it to you, and you can watch the videos on my page, and you'll see sort of examples of how I'm doing it. I want to see if there's anything else. I think, yeah, from a technique standpoint, it sounds like you're doing that work very well. But I would just I recommend dropping the assumption that the depth's really going to do the trick, right? Like it can, but in my experience, you could utilize the fidgetiness, the analyticalness, or you could broaden out in terms of your speech. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. So anyway, folks, if you want me to talk more about this, or any piece of this is interesting to you, want me to explore it more in another video, comment below. I would love to hear more from y'all. And thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.